Good morning, traders. Happy Thursday. It is August 27th. Welcome back to another episode of 20-Minute Trader TV. Okay, today feels kind of different from yesterday. Yesterday morning, we were all watching PCE and GDP. Last night, NVIDIA stepped to the stage and basically said, don't count AI out yet. And this morning, technology is waking up with a lot more energy. So if you're new here, my name is Kai. I'm a real 20-Minute Trader student. I've been doing this for about a year while balancing full-time career, family, and all the regular responsibilities that happen outside of trading. But I didn't come into this as a professional at all. I actually didn't even know how to trade. I was brand new, baby trader, never touched a chart before. But this is exactly the reason why Jeremy wants me to live trade for you guys, because he wants to show what it actually looks like for a real student that's trading, not what he or other professionals look like after years of experience, right? And that matters to me too, because if you're brand new and you make a mistake, you're normal. If you miss a setup, you're normal. If you have a trade that doesn't work, also normal, right? So my goal every morning is to actually teach you how to think through the chart. I'm going to explain what I'm seeing, why I'm considering a trade. If something doesn't work, we'll talk about that too. Okay, so we're going to explain the actual chart, the trade, and then even after the trade is over, we're going to go over the trade and potentially talk about why this trade worked out, some of the red flags, and maybe why it didn't work out. So it's all learning here. If you guys are interested in 20-Minute Trader or trading the gold pattern just like I do and thousands of other students, type class in the comment section. If you guys are in Facebook or Instagram, you'll get your free ticket to Jeremy's web class. If you guys are in Instagram or in YouTube or anywhere else, just click the link in the description and you guys can register by clicking the link. All right, now let's wake up the chat. It's Thursday. We should all be ready, almost ready for the weekend. Let's see. Where are you guys tuning in from? Please drop your city, your state, or your country. And let's see where you guys are. Good morning, good morning. We are live from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. And I can see everybody's comments. So drop them, drop them. Good morning. All right. Good morning, Kai. Good morning, friend. Where are you tuning in from? Minnesota. Good to see. All right. We have Adhills in Dubai, Jadadis in Nigeria, Hole Diggers in Germany. I love the flags. When you guys put up the flags, that's the coolest. Michael's from Iowa. Samuel's from Sweden. I love the internationalness. I love all the traders worldwide. It's super, super cool. All right, we got Grandpa Trades from Palm Beach. That's right. I am in Fort Lauderdale, Southeast Florida. Where are you guys? Let me know. Christian's in Quebec, Canada. All right. I'll let you guys wake up. I'll get back to the chat in just a few. So, as always, if you guys have any questions while I'm live trading, do not hesitate. Drop your questions in the chat. Either I will answer your questions or somebody from 20-Minute Trader will also be in the chat answering questions. And quick disclaimer before we actually get into the chart. So everything we do here is educational only. I'm not a personal financial advisor. I'm definitely not telling you when to buy or when to sell, and it's not a copy trading signal service. Sorry, guys. Yes, trading can be risky and it does carry risk. Yes, you can lose money, but also know that trading is hard, right? Good trades can still lose. Bad trades can occasionally get lucky. But we're never going to judge ourselves and our trades by one trade or even one day of trading, okay? Because the whole thing with trading and being a consistent trader is following the rules, waiting for the setup, managing our risk, and protecting our account. If we can do those things, green light, we are good to go, okay? Let me just turn on this light. It got really dark all of a sudden. All right, that's better for me. All right, so remember, I'm showing you guys the real student experience. This includes the good trades, the bad trades, the mediocre trades, and the ones that we're going to learn from afterwards, all right? Legal box is checked. Let's get into the chart. All right, so this platform that I'm trading on, as always, is tradingview.com, okay? Tradingview.com has a website and an app. You guys can start off completely for free with the free trial, but This is what we need to actually trade our pattern for a few reasons. The first thing is we're trading on a 1 second chart. And I know that that may sound fast to you guys. It's really not, because we're going to use these divergence lines to the right, and they're actually smoothing out 120 seconds or 2 minutes. So really it's almost like we're trading on a 2 minute chart, which I know still seems kind of fast, but it's not, okay? Because we're just looking for a pattern. And the quicker we see it, the quicker we enter. When we see our entry point, the better it is for us. The other thing is we're trading in the futures market, okay? What that means is this market is open 23 hours a day, and it's only going to close for 1 hour. It's going to close from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. The other 23 hours a day, it's open internationally. So this is why a lot of people from around the world love trading futures, because it's open pretty much all day, all night, right? So that's an advantage also. When I talk about the 1 second chart and the futures data, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the data. So the data is what costs money in the platform, just to have it live on your chart. So yes, after the free trial, there is a subscription. This isn't even affiliated with 20-Minute Trader at all. A lot of traders and trading courses and schools and professional traders use this. You do need the premium package. It's going to be, depending on the discount, because they always do discounts, even at the end of your free trial, you will get a discount. Typically, the monthly charge is between, I would say, $40 and $60, an average of $50 a month. And then also you can get an extra discount if you just pay the full year. Okay, so just a heads up with that. That's an expense that we just need to trade. Okay, we're already seeing a good trade happen, but should we do it? Let's just do it. All right, I'm gonna jump into this trade. And I'm gonna explain exactly why. If you guys are new here, I know that was fast, but I'm gonna explain it and we're gonna talk about it. But before I get to even the trade, let's go through the chart really quick. So I'm looking at 3 lines on a chart. I'm looking at a blue line, an orange line, and a white line. The most important line on this chart is the blue line. This is the S&P 500 futures index. So the symbol for this is in the top left. Go to symbol search and type in MES. It's the first one, micro E-mini S&P 500 futures index. Click that one. That's my blue line. If you guys see candles, just go to the top, change your candles to line. You can change it blue just like mine, so you guys know. So this is what I'm going to be taking every single trade off of, is the blue line, and it can go up and I can make money in the futures market, and we can also trade it downwards and make money in the futures market. So we're able to trade both directions, which is really cool. The other thing is the orange line on the chart, I'm basically playing it against the Dow Jones. The orange line is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is the 30 largest companies by industry in the United States. Now, both of these indexes are basically the US economy, but they normally do move together, but when they don't, that's what we're looking for. It's actually called divergence. Divergence means that this blue line and this orange line are going to be going in opposite directions. The farther apart, the better. And then they're going to come back together. But when they separate, that's the first criteria. So we're looking for a divergence for these 2 lines to be splitting apart. Now, to get the orange line on the chart, right next to symbol search, you're going to go to the right. It looks like a plus with a circle, and it says compare symbols. Click that, and you're going to type in YM. It's the first one, E-mini, Dow Jones Industrial Average, Index Futures, and please select new price scale to keep them separate. Okay? And again, change your candles to lines at the top. Candles to line, you can also change it orange. Let's see. I feel it's a little bit wider because I'm still talking. All right, so Dow Jones is the orange, MES is the blue line, which I'm trading, and then the white line on the bottom is what I'm going to be using for my entry. So this is the only indicator on the chart. This is the RSI, or the Relative Strength Index. To get that on your chart, go all the way to the top to indicators, type in RSI, and it's the first one, Relative Strength Index. Click that, and we just use the default settings. Okay, the only thing that I change in the settings is the color of the line, and I take off the moving average. That's it. So relative strength index, it's literally telling you what it means. It's telling me the strength, the momentum, and the speed of the blue line. Okay, so typically when the white line is moving up or staying in the upper half of the RSI, the price is moving up, okay? If the white line's moving down or staying in the lower half, typically price is moving down, okay? But we're going to use that for entries, and I'm going to explain exactly what we're looking for. So also, I kind of want to look and see what's going on in the chart. So I'm just zooming out to kind of see the overall day. So I'm actually trading against the trend, which isn't a good idea. So this is probably why this trade isn't working out. What I mean by that is if I zoom out, we can see that, oops, let me get rid of that. So we can see that the blue line's going down, we came up a little bit, and now we're going down, and right now we're kind of going sideways. So more or less, we're in a downtrend, right? Everybody can see that. But what I was seeing, because my chart was so zoomed in, was this is pretty much what I saw. And I did see that we were making new highs right here. So I was like, oh, we're going to switch to an uptrend. Well, we're not. We're actually going sideways. So let's talk about that as well. So make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So at this moment, this blue line is actually where I entered the chart, right? And so this is my break-even line or my entry line. The box on the right is my live price. So every single second that will be changing, whether I'm in loss or in a profit. Next to that X, there's an X. It says close position if I hover over it. You can exit the trade at any point in time with this position, with this X. At the top is my take profit. So if the blue line goes up and hits the green line, it's automatically going to exit me in profit, okay? If the trade goes against me and it still starts going down, if the blue line hits this orange line, this is actually my stop loss. So this is the most I'm willing to risk in a trade. You guys are always, always, always going to see me trading with a stop loss, okay? That is basically like a safety net or like a seatbelt. It's going to make sure that I don't lose a lot of money, right? I want to take a couple trades. I want my account to stay green. That's the number one rule is account preservation, okay? I want to keep my account. I don't want to blow my account. I am trading on prop firms, so I only have a little bit of wiggle room. And we can talk about that later if you guys want to as well. But right now we were in the negative and now we're pulling back to basically break even. So I want to see what this trade's going to do. And I'm going to make this a little bit more reasonable. So I'm going to bring this to these lows. And I'm going to see if we can still keep pushing up here. And we are technically right now we're in pre-market. What does that mean? We're trading before market open in the stock market. The stock market opens at 9:30 Eastern time. We're trading before that. So this is considered pre-market. It is a little bit slower, but usually we get some trades. If we don't, we're just going to wait till market open and trade after, a few minutes after market open. Okay? So this trade really isn't doing too much. We're still pretty much going sideways, and I really don't like when we do this. It's like 3 days in a row we're just having a sideways market. Usually we're in a good trend. All right, let me check the chat really quick. Paul's from Tampa. Good to see you, Paul. Puel's in Poland. Chris is in Tampa. Good morning, Mustafar. Good to see you guys. All right, let me get back to the chat. Let's see who else is in here. You should tell Nicole's in South Carolina. Gio's in Texas. Cool. Make sure I didn't want to miss you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for sharing your time with me. And like always, ask me as many questions as you guys want. Bitcoin Lover 27 says, what are you trading in? I'm trading in TradingView and I'm trading the futures market. All right. So let's talk about actually what we're looking for. So I'm going to be trading. This is the simplified version of the gold pattern. Okay. So what that means is I'm looking for divergence. I'm looking for the blue and the orange line to come apart. And then I'm looking for the entry point in the RSI. So let's go over a few different examples. I kind of want to get out of this trade just to get out of it. So if we pop back up, I'll get out of this trade. I'm going to squeeze out of it. So I can move my take profit and my stop loss. All right. So basically I just exited at $0, break even. I just didn't like the trade anymore, and let's talk about that as well. So we have to trade. The first thing is trading with the trend, right? So like if we were in this nice downtrend, we could have taken some good trades riding this down. But when we start going sideways like this, it tends to become unpredictable because this technically is not a trend, okay? I either need it to go up so I can trade it or go down so I can trade it. But sideways, it's really risky because the movement's up and down, it gets very choppy and it can hit our stop loss, okay? So I don't like to stay in a trade if it starts going sideways. And that's a part of trade management that we teach you guys. So if your trade just goes sideways and it goes flat, feel free to exit that trade. So we're going to start looking for a trend soon. And I'm going to give you guys some examples of divergence. So let's talk about divergence. The first criteria is if the blue line and the orange line are going in opposite directions. So a couple examples. If the blue line is going upwards and it's pointing up and it's telling me it wants to go up, I will trade it going up, but I need the orange line to be flat or horizontal or pointing down in the opposite direction. Okay, I can't have them going in the same direction. I need the blue line up and the orange line down, preferably. If the blue line is pointing downwards and it's telling me it wants to go down, I will trade it going down, but again, I need the orange line flat or horizontal or pointing up in the opposite direction. Okay, again, they can't be going in the same direction. I need blue down and orange up, okay? Now, as soon as we do get divergence, see, like right now we just have parallel lines. They're going in the same direction and they're pretty much right on top of each other. That's not divergence. There's no trade there. Just wait. Trust me, just wait. And we're going to get on a better trade, okay? We don't want to take okay trades or maybe trades. We're going to take some good trades, and I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to make it a good trade. So once we start seeing divergence, we don't just blindly jump into the trade. What we want to see is the trend, divergence in the same direction, and then I'm going to look down at this white line on the bottom for my entry point, okay? So if the blue line is pointing upwards and it's telling me it wants to go upwards, then I need the white line to actually pop down. So if blue line's pointing up, my entry point is going to be the white line popping down against me, and then we're going to trade it going upwards, okay? In the opposite, if the blue line's pointing down and it's telling me it wants to go down, I'm going to need the white line to pop up to get a trade and an entry point to trade the blue line going down, okay? So it's basically the blue line is going to tell me what direction it wants to go and the trend, and then the orange line and the white line have to go in the opposite direction. That's it. That's all I'm looking for. We're looking for that pattern, and it is going to go. Oh, Grandpa Trade said that TradingView is 70 to 80% off right now. That's awesome. Yeah, they do have sales. For sure, they're going to have a Labor Day sale. And it usually is minimum 70% off. So TradingView, I know it's a cost, but if you think about trading, we always tell people to think about trading like a business, right? There are going to be expenses for that business to make money, right? And this is basically, I also say, like, TradingView is my vehicle. It's like my car that I need to get to work. Yes, it's an expense, but I need it to get to work, right? So TradingView, like I said, it has nothing to do with 20-minute trader. It's just a really good charting platform. So that's why we use it. All right, so we're still sideways. Oh, I got to break out the box, you guys, so everybody can see. I'll even draw it down here. All right. So, can we all see that pretty much we're sideways? And I'm basically just drawing it from the highs to the lows. And we're just very choppy. Sideways and choppy is not good. Even right here, we pulled out of it, pulled right back in. Pulled out of it, pulled right back in. So we want to have a clear trend and a clear direction. And it's okay if we don't, because at 9:27, which is right here, where's Grandpa Trades? He's probably yelling at me. 9:27, right there. We don't take trades from 9:27 to 9:33 because, like I talked about earlier, the stock market open at 9:30 Eastern time is going to send this futures market all over the place. Okay. So then the trend becomes unstable. The direction becomes unstable because there's going to be a lot of volatility and volume coming into the market. That's okay. Typically, we're going to wait a few minutes afterwards, and then we are going to wait for the trend to establish itself, and then we're going to start trading. So even though we're not going to trade for a few minutes, it's okay. Gold pattern tends to show up every few minutes anyway, and you don't have to take every single pattern that you see. I actually advise you not to. You want all the criteria in place and ready to go, right? So Grandpa Trade says that the 70 to 80% off of TradingView right now is either $21 a month or $251.79 for 12 months for a full year of premium. That's actually crazy. That's very cheap. Very cheap. I know when it's like full price, it's like $700 or more a year if you do the year plan. So $250 for a full year is amazing. And what's actually really cool about TradingView is like a lot of us, we buy the full year and they keep the days running. So if I go and I buy this for another 12 months, I'm already paid up to like 2027. I don't know what month. But if I buy this again for another 12 months, it's going to push my rebill out to 2028. So it's going to keep it rolling forward. And it will actually, when you log in, it's going to show you how many days you have paid. It's actually really cool. So every time TradingView has a big sale like that, I do just buy the month or buy the full year, and it keeps just going. Yes. Good call, Grandpa Trades. Thank you for saying that. Friends and family views say my subscription is good through February 2028 already. Now that's a trader. That is a trader. Paid out over 2 years. That's awesome. And you know what? Yes, it's money up front, but then you're going to have it. And you're going to get a huge discount. Oh man, we're pulling back into this range, but it's okay because I know after market open, we're going to be out of this range, whether it's up or down, and we're going to be able to trade it. 70% off premium, 80% off pro. You guys don't need pro. You only need premium. It's not the highest package. It's like one of the middle ones. And it's only because we need the 1 second chart. Okay? The other thing, the futures data, it never has a discount, but it's only $7 a month. It's called CME Group Data, and it's to trade the futures market and to get the futures data. But that's $7 a month. Very insignificant. I pretty much just forgot about it until you guys compared the pro and the premium. Even the pro doesn't come with it, but it's only $7 a month. And that's it. So not a lot of upfront costs to start trading. I would say if you guys are brand new traders, start off in TradingView. It actually comes with its own paper trade account. So I'm going to log out so I can show you guys how to get in. So if you guys go to this trade tab at the top right next to that white publish button and you click paper trading right here, this is inside TradingView, and it said paper trading is also known as simulated trading. It lets you practice buying and selling securities. This process is similar to real trading except no money is used. Our paper trading engine is perfect tool to polish your skills. We track everything, trade history, profit and loss, and more. So it's basically a practice account on a live chart. And here's the thing, you guys, the longer that you guys practice trade and paper trade, the better traders you guys will be because you're going to make your mistakes in this fake account, okay? In your, everybody calls this fake account, demo account, paper account, practice account. Make all of your mistakes in practice. So when your win rate is around 60% or higher, you should be very confident to trade in a prop firm, or if you guys want to trade with your broker account, I highly, highly recommend taking advantage of prop firms. It's a small expense and you're able to make thousands of dollars with other people's money. Good morning. Do you journal your trades? I do. I actually use AI to journal my trades. What I do is I download my trades for the day because it's going to have my entry and my exit and profit and loss and all that. And I take it and I put it into AI. And then I also talk about my trades. So I talk about, how did I feel trading today? How did it go? What could I have done better? I ask AI, what's my win rate? What time of day am I taking my best trades? How do I improve my win rate? And it's very conversational. So I like AI when it comes to trading. And it is pretty accurate. And it also gives me some tough love. So I do like that part too. Paul says, I buy TradingView the same way. With the exchanges, give discounts for the feeds. Yes. Grandpa Trades, I'm good through February 3rd, 2028. That's awesome. How much is this software? Oh, we were just talking about it. Katriva Carpet Care. So TradingView actually has a discount right now, 70% off. And I would say if it's not too much, do the $251 for the full 12 months and get that discount. Lock in that discount, and then you guys don't even have to worry about a bill. The only bill you'll have is that $7 a month CME group data. And I forget about it. Yep. Let's go up. Walter says, so TradingView is your brokerage. No. TradingView is my charting platform. And then I connect I don't trade on my broker account. I do use prop firms, and I connect my prop firms in Tradeovate. So I trade on the same exact screen that I practice on. And this is what I learned on as well. So I connect my prop firm into TradingView through Tradeovate completely for free. There's no charge to connect your prop firm account to TradingView. Okay, so like, look, if I log out of paper trading and I log back in, I can select, you guys can even do Ninja Trader if you guys use that for prop firms, or Tradeovate. I use Tradeovate, and then I can just hit connect and it will show all my accounts, all my prop firm accounts that I can trade live on the live chart. All right, breaking out of this range, it's after 927. I'm going to move this over to 933. 933. Okay. So we're getting some divergence, you guys. We are pushing up. We are making new highs, right? We surpassed these highs and these highs, and we're making new highs right here. That's good. So we are in an uptrend. We're also making higher lows, right? This is higher than that one. This is higher than this one. So we're in an uptrend right now. But at 9:30, it's going to mess up everything. It's going to throw a wrench in the plan. But let's just see if we can keep this uptrend. So 9:30 is right here. This is the market open. So if you guys are in a trade, get out and don't place a trade, because the market is going to go wild. Okay. Walter says, great, thanks. Will TOS work? Is that Thinkorswim? I don't think so. But you can look at TradingView. So a lot of traders do this. If they're trading on their broker account, they look at the chart and they place their trades on Thinkorswim or Webull or whatever on their phones or on their computer. But normally we do have two screens. So like I use my laptop and I use a monitor to my right. Or you guys can use your phone, an iPad. I would say try not to use your phone unless you're using it just for your broker to enter and exit trades, because when it comes to the chart, you need to see a lot of the chart. So you need an iPad, a laptop, or even a bigger monitor, and it really, really helps. Okay. All right, so market open in 15 seconds. John, what are you trading? I'm trading the blue line, MES, which is the S&P 500 Futures Index. MTV says, don't they also have a sale around Thanksgiving? Yeah, they don't do sales too often, but usually I would say like the major holidays, they definitely do. They don't have one like every month, but they definitely have one like big holidays, or I know like Black Friday, they would. All right. So market opens right here, and the moves are also going to be getting much larger. And let's just see. Up and down, up and down. You guys can see it. It's like crazy, right? Craziness. All right. Just checking the news. Do you guys watch the news? So for the news, I always check Forex Factory. So I make sure I check the day, or really I have up the week. So for today there's really no news. Tomorrow there are red folder days. Tomorrow is at 10 a.m. Eastern. Federal Chairman Warr speaks. And it says day 2 Jackson Hole Symposium, but there's no time on it. And then if I'm not after that, then I look at Financial Juice, just at like the feed, to see kind of the news, what's going on. All right. So we're going up and down, dropping right now. Grandpa Cherry says Labor Day, which is now, New Year's, and 4th of July. Alex, do you journal your trades? Yes. Yeah, always journal your trades. The good ones, the bad ones. And I tell students, our red trades, we should replay those. In TradingView, that's also another really cool thing. So if you guys look at the top, it has replay up here. Oops, I just drew on my chart. So up at the top here, it has replay mode, and you guys can literally play the day before, the night before. You guys can replay your red trades and kind of see what went wrong. You can replay your green trades and see what went right, and see if you guys would have taken those same trades over again. Yeah, replay trading is definitely a good tool as well. DMG, what's the amount you start trading with to make profit? So we use prop firms, so typically it's around like $100 for an account. But make sure that you guys practice for a few weeks. I would say you need at least 2 to 3 weeks of green to finish your week green before you switch to a prop firm account. Alexander says, good morning. Do you journal your trades? You guys are all about the journal right now. Yes, we do journal. We teach you guys how to journal. We teach you guys trading psychology, not just the course. It's a lot of other things. Like how to trade prop firms, how to copy trade. Can you record the trades? Eric is asking. Yeah, I think if you have what's it called? Screen record or something like that, you guys can record your trades. But as long as you have your entry and your exit time, you guys can replay the trade in TradingView. Because if you record all of your trades, it's going to take up a lot of data on your computer. Yeah. Or you can just go to your trade history and download that or take a screenshot of it. And then you guys can just put the image or the picture or the download into AI and it will go through it for you. What prop firm do you use with TradingView? You can use pretty much, as long as it's a futures prop firm, you guys can use it. It's so we do have discount codes. Yes, they're affiliate discount codes, so we do get a little bit of commission, but you guys also get a really good discount. So we're getting amazing divergence right now. You guys, blue line's pointing down, orange line is pointing up. I want to see the white line pop up a little bit more, and I'll take the trade going down. So this is like textbook right here. Blue line's pointing down, orange line is going up in the opposite direction. For my entry point, I need the white line to pop up. Okay? So let's see if we get the pop up. If we don't get the entry, we don't take it. This wasn't high enough for me. I want to see it come close to the center line. It doesn't have to hit the center line, but it's got to come close to it. All right, that's a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to enter right here for a short. We're going to play this about 70. And it's risky. Why is it risky? Because this is the first few minutes of market open. I'm only like 5 minutes into market open. And yes, we are in a downtrend, but look, we made equal lows. We didn't make a new low. So, but we did have beautiful divergence. We got the entry point right here. How about that? I'm not going to go anymore. Because if this one's, yeah, it's going to take me out. Because it's pushing up. Look at the RSI. The RSI is now going in the upper half. Usually when we enter a trade and we're going down, we want this to pop up to get an entry, and then it should come back down and stay in the lower half. But if the RSI goes up and it stays in this upper half, I'm going to lose this trade because it's pushing price up. There. So I just, that hit my stop loss. So yes, I did lose that trade, but it's just a small little paper cut of my account. And it was also a riskier trade because it's the first few minutes of market open. And we still, yes, we're in a downtrend because, but it's not stable yet. So we are making lower highs, but we're not making lower lows yet. If we continue going down, we need to make lower lows for this to confirm the downtrend. Okay? And right now we have parallel lines, no divergence. We lost our divergence, so no trade. We're going to wait for the next one. But like I said, I'm going to take trades that are going to be good trades and bad trades so we can talk about why we entered them, maybe what was risky about them, and why they either worked out or they didn't work out. Because I need you guys to be able to analyze your own trades and know exactly what went wrong or went right for the trades. Because a lot of people, when we start trading, if we win a trade, we're like, cool, maybe we got lucky. Or if we lost a trade, we're like, dang, what went wrong? How do we fix that? Right? So this is why this is educational, and this is why I do take risky trades, because I do want to explain the good and the bad. All right, so we're still not making any lower lows, right? So this low and this low are equal lows. This low is higher than these. So I need, if this wants to continue in a downtrend, I need this to go past these lows, make new lows, and continue going down for a downtrend. If it doesn't, and it wants to go up, then it needs to go up, and it needs to surpass these highs, and these highs. And it may even pass those highs, but we're kind of going sideways right now. So we're just going to wait. You don't want to take trades back to back. Just wait for the trend to establish itself. So what does MES want to do this morning? What does it want to do? All right, let me check the chat for some questions. Oh, so we were talking about prop firms. So prop firms, yes, we do have an affiliate code. Yes, we do make a commission, but you guys also get a very large discount. So our code for prop firms are 20, capital M, capital T, 20-minute trader. We use Take Profit Trader. We use Top Step Futures, Top Step, Apex, My Funded Futures, and Lucid. And they're all futures prop firms. So you can trade our strategy in those. All right, let me check these questions real quick. What Alexander says, what's your win rate? Over 60%. Profitable. The gold pattern strategy, so I'm only trading a part of the gold pattern strategy. The full strategy, which is like the actual course, it's like 4 hours if you do the whole thing. That gold pattern strategy has an 86% win rate. Is backtesting okay? Yeah. But don't get stuck on backtesting, because you want to be able to trade on a live chart. even though it may have worked in the past, you got to be able to trade the strategy on a live chart. And that's where a lot of traders kind of mess up, is they're so used to back testing and replay trading that they get uncomfortable on a live chart because you don't know what's going to happen on a live chart, right? Good trades are going to fail. Bad trades will sometimes win. But if we follow the strategy, more times than not, we're going to get a good trade. All right, so we are getting good divergence. Blue line's pointing up, orange line is pointing down. What do I need to enter this trade? I need the white line to pop down to get an entry point to trade it going upwards. And we did surpass these highs that we were talking about, right? So we're making new highs. I just need the RSI to make a drop down to get an entry point. If I don't get an entry point, I'm not going to take the trade. We're even approaching these highs right now. But beautiful divergence, right? Blue line's up, orange line is down. This is exactly what we're looking for. And I'm just waiting for the RSI to drop lower than these, lower than this area, and I can enter a trade. All right, there we go. So we're going to do a wide one because I want to see if it's going to surpass this high right here. So we're going to do 90-90. And we're going to see if we can make equal highs here. So I entered right here. I may have my stop loss too tight. Okay, so the pullbacks are a little aggressive today. What does that mean? Even though we're in an uptrend, the pullback is aggressive. We're going up, we're going up. This pullback is very aggressive. And look, it's going to keep going up. But that's what happens sometimes, is sometimes the pullbacks are going to hit our stop loss because they're just too large, right? How to mitigate that? If I were to size down, okay? So say I go in with 2 contracts, I can have my stop loss much wider, okay? So if I would have entered right here, let's see if it drops down again. If we would have entered right here, let me just draw a line. If we would have entered right here just like we did, where was it? Right here. We would have entered right there. I could have had my stop loss like all the way down here with 2 contracts, and I wouldn't have got taken out. But I still think that we're going to push past this high. We almost did it, and we're coming back. So I still think that we're going to pass this high. I'm going to move my line up there just so I can see, because I think that's where we're going. And that usually, so when the price is going up, right? The RSI is in the upper half, which is good, but I need that drop down right here to get my entry point. But as you can see, the RSI kept dropping, and that's what hit my stop loss right there. So that happens. Can't do anything about that. And then look, we just made new highs. And nobody can predict that kind of stuff, right? This is why we just follow the rules, because more times than not, the trades are going to work out. And yes, everybody's going to take red trades. Everybody's going to have red days, but you know what? It's just part of trading. And I can assure you, you're not going to think about that single trade or even that day of trading, because the goal is to finish the week green. So even though this morning I'm starting off red, I'm green from the days before. I'm still green right now. So if anything, I'm just going to size down in contracts, and if I see some good trades, I'll take them. We're still making new highs. We have good divergence, right? Blue line's pointing up, orange line is pointing down, but I'm not getting an entry point in the RSI, so I'm not just jumping into this trade blindly, because again, when it does do the pullback, it could take out my stop loss again. So I want to enter on the pullback. I don't want to get taken out by the pullback. Does that make sense? So let's see if we drop here, and I'll enter again. Do a 3-er. still making new highs, but now we have parallel lines. So Dow and MES are traveling together. And we're staying in the upper half. You guys see this? We literally took out my stop loss and then we came right back up. So that was my bad. I should have had a wider stop, but that's all right. There's always going to be more trades. There's always going to be the next trade, the next trend. It's all good. Don't have FOMO. Don't revenge trade. There's no trade. Even though it's still going up, the cool thing is we can make money on the way down. You know, if this changes the trend right here and we start heading down, we can just ride it down. So don't get hung up on all that. So we are dipping down right here. So let's do this. Where if I have a really deep pullback, like it is doing again. See, these pullbacks are something else today. They're going really far. It's going all the way down. So I'm trying to enter near the center line. This is what's happening. I'm trying to enter near the center line, which is typically how it goes. And this thing is dropping all the way to the bottom, all the way pretty much in the lower half. This thing is still going. Yeah, so this one's going to take me out too. Look at that. This RSI is going way down. Okay, so this is probably a reversal. This is probably a reversal at this point because the RSI typically doesn't move from the top, from way up here, the top of the line, above the top of the line to the bottom. I'm not making excuses. This is a reversal, okay? We took out all these lows. Took out that low, these lows. We're approaching this low. If we pass this low, full on reversal, steep reversal, because I'm going to measure this really quick. And let's see how many points we just dropped. $15. That is a lot because look at our recent moves, okay? Our recent moves are like $5, $6, $5, $5. So to go from a $5 move to a 15, that's a reversal. Can't predict reversals. They just happen. So, and look at the divergence. We are switching. It's pointing down. It's switching to a short right now. So, and the RSI is staying in the lower half. It didn't just go down to the lower half and come right back up like it did right here. You see this? It came down and then it pushed right back up and it stayed up here and it pushed price up. It's not doing that right now. It's, whoops, it's staying in the lower half. Delete that. You see this? It's staying in the lower half. It just surpassed that low. So this is a reversal. And it's staying in the lower half. That's how you know that you have a reversal as well. Oops. Come on. I'm trying to delete that. Okay. So even though we're having a reversal, we don't have any divergence. We have parallel lines. And this is kind of crazy too, is if we draw a range here in the market open, we came out of it and we pulled right back into this. Because if I'm just drawing from the high to the low, right, low to the high, that stinks. I mean, it's good that we're getting a trend, but we're not getting any divergence to trade it. So, and again, we're staying in the lower half, no divergence, no trade. Be careful today, you guys. The pullbacks and the reversals are a lot. Oh, hold on. That one was not accurate. Why isn't that doing it? $8, $10. So yeah, so the reversals are something else. Definitely steeper than typical for MES. Usually MES isn't that wild. But it's really not picking a trend. It just keeps flipping and flopping. So maybe trade after 10 a.m. You know, don't trade at, make sure you're not trading on the hour either. So we are getting some divergence, but I just don't trust it yet. I don't trust it. So just wait for a better trend and let's see. Is this the Dow and the S&P divergence strategy? Yes, this is called the gold pattern. I'm building a website where I can journal your trade and also an AI analysis prop vault. Super cool. What is that yellow and blue line? The blue line is MES. The orange line is YM or the Dow Jones. Twizzy says, can your strategy be applicable to trading anywhere in general or are there exceptions? Anywhere in the futures market. So any futures index, you can change the blue line. Always keep the orange line, the Dow Jones. All right, let me go over to the comments. All right, so parallel lines, we are pushing up again, but for this trend to really establish itself, it needs to surpass these highs. Because we took out a lot of lows here. We took out a lot of lows, even these. Oops. All right. So no divergence. Trend isn't established. We'll just wait. All right. Let me check the comments. Yeah. This trend today. Boo. Yeah. It's just kind of like flipping and flopping on us. There's nothing we can do. It's all good. All right. So, not really getting a whole lot, and we're coming up on 10 o'clock. So, I'm gonna end this stream here. Yeah, it was kind of an ugly day. I'll admit it. But the pullbacks were pretty aggressive, and I probably went in too heavy. So you guys saw me going a little bit too heavy, and I definitely got dinged for it. It's all good. So I will be doing this. Let's see. So next week we have a special guest hosting in the morning. And I will be back next Thursday. So I will see you guys in a week. Typically, I trade every single morning from 9 to 10 a.m., but I got some work stuff. I got to go on a work trip. So I do work a full-time job besides trading. So I do have a work trip that I have to go on Monday through Wednesday, but I will be back here Thursday morning and we will do it all over again. I hope that you guys I hope you guys end your week green. I hope that you guys start off next week green and then we can keep at it and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Everybody have a great Thursday, an amazing weekend, and a good start to your week. And I will see you guys then. Later, traders.